Welcome to Global Watch. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. For over a century, the Panama Canal has stood as a testament to human ingenuity and ambition, a marvel of engineering that forever changed the way the world trades. Before its construction, ships had to brave the long and perilous journey around the tip of South America, adding weeks to their voyages and risking treacherous waters. The canal's opening in 1914 was a turning point, instantly transforming global commerce by slicing through a continent and connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in a way that was once thought impossible. Today, the Panama Canal remains a vital artery for international trade, with thousands of ships passing through its locks each year, carrying everything from consumer goods to raw materials. Its impact on the global economy is immeasurable, and its legacy continues to inspire new dreams of shortcuts that could reshape the world's shipping routes. Now, halfway across the globe in Southeast Asia, a similar vision is taking shape. The Kra Canal, a proposed waterway across Thailand's narrowest point, has captured the imagination of engineers, politicians, and business leaders alike. The idea is bold: to carve a new passage through the Kra Isthmus, creating a shortcut that could rival the impact of the Panama Canal. If realized, the Kra Canal would allow ships to bypass the congested and often hazardous Strait of Malacca, offering a direct route between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. This shortcut could save vessels up to 3 days of travel, reduce fuel costs, and ease the pressure on one of the world's busiest maritime corridors. The Strait of Malacca is more than just a busy waterway. It's a critical choke point that funnels nearly a third of all global trade. Every day, massive oil tankers, container ships, and bulk carriers squeeze through its narrow passage, making it both a vital link and a potential bottleneck for the world economy. For economic powerhouses like China, Japan, and South Korea, the strait is nothing less than a lifeline. Their industries depend on the steady flow of energy and goods through this narrow channel, but its vulnerability to accidents, piracy, or even blockades makes it a strategic weak spot that keeps policymakers up at night. The constant risk of disruption has fueled China's search for alternatives, a strategic concern often referred to as the Malacca Dilemma. The fear is that a single incident or conflict could choke off vital supplies, with devastating consequences for economies across Asia and beyond. The proposed Kra Canal would carve a 102-kilometer path through southern Thailand, offering a new lifeline for global shipping. By dramatically shortening the journey between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, it could reshape the economics of maritime trade, making routes faster, cheaper, and more secure. But the Kra Canal is more than just an engineering challenge or a commercial project. It's a geopolitical game-changer, with the potential to shift the balance of power in Southeast Asia and beyond. The canal's construction would draw the attention, and perhaps the involvement, of major world powers, each with their own interests at stake. For Thailand, the canal could be a ticket to becoming a major maritime hub, attracting investment and transforming its economy. But for Singapore, currently the region's dominant port, the prospect of losing its strategic advantage is a serious concern, threatening its status as the gateway to Asia. For China, the Kra Canal represents a chance to secure its trade routes and reduce its dependence on the vulnerable Strait of Malacca, strengthening its position as a global trading powerhouse. As the world watches, the stakes are rising for Southeast Asia's future. The dream of a shortcut is no longer just an idea. It's a battleground of ambition, strategy, and the relentless drive to shape the flow of global trade for generations to come. The Kra Canal dream dates back centuries, first imagined by a Thai king in the 1600s. Over time, colonial powers like Britain and France eyed the project, but costs and politics always stalled progress. Even the developer of the Suez Canal, Ferdinand de Lesseps, declared it feasible in 1882, but nothing materialized. In the 20th century, Japan and later Thai leaders revived the idea, but concerns over cost, sovereignty, and national unity persisted. Today, with China's rise in advanced technology, the canal is back in the spotlight. Yet, the same obstacles, financing, politics, and regional stability, remain as daunting as ever. The Kra Canal's long history is a testament to both its allure and its challenges. China's interest in the Kra Canal is driven by more than just shipping efficiency. For Beijing, the canal represents a rare opportunity to reshape the region's economic and strategic landscape. The project is not simply about cutting travel time for cargo ships. It's about securing China's future as a global power and reducing its dependence on vulnerable maritime choke points. With 80% of its imported oil passing through the US-patrolled Malacca Strait, China faces what strategists call the Malacca Dilemma. This narrow waterway is a lifeline for China's economy, but it's also a potential chokehold in times of conflict or crisis, especially given the strong U.S. naval presence in the region. By supporting the Panama Canal, China sees a chance to bypass this critical vulnerability. The canal would offer a direct, alternative route for energy imports and exports, reducing shipping times by days and lowering transportation costs. It would also help insulate China from disruptions caused by geopolitical tensions or blockades in the Malacca Strait. The canal fits perfectly into China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to create a vast network of trade routes connecting Asia, Africa, and Europe. By adding a new secure artery for trade and energy, the Panama Canal would strengthen China's economic influence and provide a strategic edge in global commerce. Chinese companies have already conducted feasibility studies and signed preliminary agreements with Thai partners, signaling deep and ongoing interest. These moves show that China is not just a passive observer, but an active player eager to shape the canal's future. For China, the canal is more than a commercial prize. It's a strategic asset that could allow Beijing to project power into the Indian Ocean, safeguard its maritime interests, and secure vital supply chains. The canal could also serve as a base for Chinese naval operations, further extending China's reach. But this ambition alarms the US, India, and other regional powers, who see the canal as a potential threat to their own influence and security. The prospect of increased Chinese presence in the Indian Ocean raises concerns about shifting power dynamics and the risk of confrontation. The project has become a geopolitical balancing act with Thailand caught between rival powers. Bangkok must weigh the economic benefits of the canal against the risk of alienating key partners and becoming a pawn in a larger strategic contest. Moving forward means navigating a minefield of international tensions, where every decision could have far-reaching consequences for the region's stability and the global balance of power. While the canal debate rages, Thailand is pursuing a more practical alternative: a land bridge. This plan involves two deep-sea ports linked by highways and railways, allowing cargo to cross the isthmus overland. The land bridge promises many of the canal's benefits: faster shipping, economic growth, without the massive costs or environmental risks. It also avoids physically dividing the country, a major concern given separatist tensions in the south. The government sees the land bridge as a faster, safer way to become a regional logistics hub. It's a compromise that balances ambition with political and environmental realities. For now, Thailand's resources and political will are firmly behind steel rails, not a waterway. The Panama Canal is more than just an ambitious infrastructure project. It's a pawn in the Indo-Pacific's complex geopolitical chess game. Its proposed route, slicing through the narrowest part of Thailand, has the potential to reshape global shipping and shift the balance of power in the region. The United States and India, both with significant strategic interests in the Indo-Pacific, are wary. They fear the canal would dramatically boost China's naval reach, giving Beijing easier access to the Indian Ocean and threatening their influence over vital sea lanes. For Washington and New Delhi, the canal could tip the scales, making it harder to contain China's growing maritime ambitions. As a result, both countries quietly support Thailand's alternative proposal, a land bridge across the isthmus. This overland route is seen as less of a military risk, offering economic benefits without giving China a direct naval shortcut. Meanwhile, Singapore watches anxiously. Its economy thrives on the constant flow of ships through the Malacca Strait. Any new route, whether a canal or a land bridge, could divert traffic, threatening Singapore's status as a global shipping hub and putting thousands of jobs at risk. For Thailand, the stakes are high. The government must balance the promise of foreign investment and economic growth with the risk of alienating key allies or provoking China. Every decision is scrutinized by powerful neighbors and global players alike. The land bridge emerges as a diplomatic compromise, attractive enough to draw Chinese investment, but less threatening to the strategic interests of the US and India. It's a delicate, balancing act, with Thailand at the center of the region's shifting alliances. How Thailand navigates these competing pressures will determine not just its own future, but also its role as a regional power broker in Asia's evolving landscape. The stakes are high for every player involved. Each move on this geopolitical chessboard could have far-reaching consequences, influencing trade, security, and alliances for decades to come. Ultimately, the outcome of this contest could redefine the region's power dynamics, setting the course for Southeast Asia's future in a rapidly changing world. The economic case for the Craw Canal centers on time and fuel savings for shipping companies. A shortcut could save ships up to 3 days and thousands in operating costs, but the canal's $30–50 billion price tag is daunting. To recoup costs, high tolls would be needed, potentially making the free Malacca Strait more attractive for many shippers. Proponents envision a new economic hub in southern Thailand, but the canal would also threaten Singapore and Malaysian ports. The land bridge is cheaper but adds transshipment costs and logistical complexity. Analysts are divided, can either project truly compete with the established Malacca route. The numbers are uncertain, and investors must weigh huge risks against potential rewards. The future of global shipping may hinge on these calculations. The Craw Canal's environmental and social costs are immense. Excavating a 102-kilometer channel would devastate forests, wetlands, and farmland, permanently altering southern Thailand's landscape. Connecting the Andaman Sea and Gulf of Thailand could disrupt marine ecosystems, threaten fisheries, and introduce invasive species. Fishing communities risk economic ruin, and environmentalists warn of an ecological catastrophe. The canal would also physically divide Thailand, fueling separatist tensions in the south. These risks have pushed the government toward the less disruptive land bridge. Even the land bridge has environmental impacts, but they're far more manageable. The hidden price of a canal may simply be too high for Thailand to pay. Experts urge caution on the Craw Canal's grand vision. Economists warn that tolls needed to repay construction costs could make the canal less attractive than the free Malacca Strait. Security analysts argue the canal would just create a new choke point, vulnerable in times of conflict. Environmental scientists predict catastrophic damage to marine and coastal ecosystems. Political analysts highlight the diplomatic risks. Moving forward could alienate the US or anger China. The land bridge is seen as a clever compromise, offering economic benefits without the same strategic risks. The canal's potential rewards are matched by daunting hurdles: economic, environmental, and geopolitical. The debate is far from settled. The future remains uncertain. The Craw Canal debate is a story of ambition colliding with reality. It's a vision to reshape Asia's trade routes, but the costs, financial, environmental, and political, are staggering. Thailand's land bridge is a pragmatic response, seeking growth without disaster or conflict. The canal dream persists, but for now, caution prevails. Future shifts in technology, politics, or trade could revive the project. The fate of the Craw Isthmus will echo across Asia, shaping the region's future. The choices made here will test the balance between progress and preservation. In the end, the answer may be written in the sands of southern Thailand.